Welcome everybody to our People Analytics webinar, hosted by Flexso for People, and more in particular by me, Jens Voortmans. I am a proud Limburger, SuccessFactors Employee Central Consultant at Flexso for People. I like listening to music, and recently, like I think 90% of the world's population, I also picked up hiking. If you want to get in contact with me after the session, you can find my email address below at this slide if you need some more information about people analytics. Before we really get started, some information about the ground rules of the webinar. Questions, they can be asked in English and Dutch, and you can ask them via the chat. There is a little question mark icon there. The session will be recorded, of course, and we will distribute the recording after the session. And yeah, for the rest, just hang on and enjoy the session. So, people analytics. Why do we need to talk about people analytics? Why do we need a session like this? What is it all about? What are the different flavors of people analytics that SAP is offering us? And how do we enable people analytics within SuccessFactors? Those are the three basic questions that we want to see answered during this webinar. And we'll start with the why. And to make it a bit more interactive, the why question, we would like to do a small poll. So you can now go to the website www.menti.com, or you can also scan the QR code. And then you can use a code that I will present to you. So if you go to this website and then put in this code, you will be presented with this question, and then you can answer it using some keywords. What the most important challenges are regarding reporting that you face today. And we'll give you some time to answer that question. Okay, looks like it's working. Data quality seems to be a big topic. Visualization of the data for management. Data quality remains the winner. Management dashboarding. Combining data sources, more automatization, complicated tools, proactive planning, time consuming. Okay, I think we got 28 replies, which is quite good. Let's give it some more time. Okay, data quality seems to be the big winner. Following up data quality is a difficulty people face today. Visualizations for management is also something I will remember. Combining data sources, combining data from different systems maybe, that is also a difficulty. Historical data, not user-friendly, user experience, complicated tools, they are also more or less the same thing. All right. Thank you for your cooperation. Let's now have a look at if these challenges, if we can solve them with the people analytics tool. If we go back to the presentation. There is also a story that SAP likes to tell about why we need people analytics, and it more or less covers the same issues that that you raised within the polling. And basically, what SAP is telling us is that today reporting solutions, they have an incomplete picture. It's very difficult to report on all of the data. You have access to a limited set of your HR data, and you don't have access to data from other HR modules, let alone from other systems outside of HR, which doesn't tell the complete picture. So that's a big issue today. Second one is analysis delays. More often than not, we create reports and we can tell that something has happened after the fact and try to analyze why that has happened. But being able to use reports to support planning and being able to maybe do some predictive reporting, that is a dream, that remains a dream for a lot of organizations. The human bias is also always at play. We as humans, we have a tendency to, when we look at data, to always see what corroborates our views, that we already believe, and that way we lose other insights into the data. And by maybe enabling machines to do that for us by leveraging machine learning and artificial intelligence, we can maybe discover hidden insights into the data to break down that human bias. Unclear next steps is the last one that we want to point out. That's basically that most reports, SuccessFactors reports that you create today, will probably be big data dumps, big table reports, and you might have some graphical reports in there, but it's not really telling you something. It's not really giving you the information, okay, what does this data now mean? Is there maybe something I can do to optimize my recruitment process, let's say, to make sure that I have a more smoother experience, that the process runs more efficiently. That's not really something that is present in the solutions that we use today. And as a consequence of that, we do not trust our analytical insights. A lot of people create their own reports in Excel. A lot of shadow IT exists within the reporting domain. And finally, you will also probably lose some money because you lose efficiency because you are not able to report correctly on all of the data that you have in your system. That's the big story, and of course, people analytics is going to solve everything. It will enable you to combine data from different sources. You will be able to report on your complete HR data set, and you will also be able to combine that with data from other systems in a specific version of people analytics. By being able to create reports on your complete data set, and also leveraging the story capabilities of people analytics, because in people analytics, it's not really about creating data dumps. It's more about describing the data that we are seeing, trying to answer questions that you have as an organization, and presenting that in a very graphical way. And then leveraging those reports, sharing that with the complete community, maybe with your manager population, can incentivize to take action. If somebody has a good graphical report at their disposal, which gives them insight in the lead time of the onboarding process, and they see that it's taking too long within a specific location, yeah, then they can surely take action. And that is what we want to achieve. We want to be a data-driven organization. We want to take actions based upon all of the data that we have at our disposal, and that way become more efficient as an organization and in our HR processes. That's basically the why. The what then is, yeah, which versions of people analytics do we have at our disposal? And there are two main flavors. And the first one is free of charge. It's part of your SuccessFactors suite today. It seems that there is a question that we need to address. Do I need to switch to something? Yeah, I see somebody already asked a question if people analytics will include LMS data. That's something I'm going to save for last to keep the tension. But yeah, let's see. So the embedded flavor of people analytics is free of charge. It is within your SuccessFactors suite today. It just needs to be activated to be able to use it. And it will allow you to report on all of your HR data. And you will be able to create nice graphical overviews like you see here on the screen. And it will be able to give you more insight into your data than what you can do with the reporting solutions today. Another flavor of people analytics is the extended version, which is not free. You will need to pay to use it. And what do you get for paying for that additional license? Well, you get the ability to also combine data from other systems. Data outside of SuccessFactors can also be merged within the reports to create an enterprise-wide report, not limited to HR. It also can give you access to basic metric packs, benchmarks that can be imported if you haven't defined those metrics yourself. You can leverage some best practices from SAP. And it will basically also give you more flexibility in creating a very highly customized report. Those are the two main flavors. And now we also want to position them towards what we have available within the solution today. So let's have a look at what we have today within the platform. We have ad hoc reporting, dashboards and tiles, advanced reporting, or the online report designer, which we can use to create our operational reports. If we have a look at more strategic kinds of reports that require an additional license, then we have the workforce analytics solution that gives you the capability to create go deeper into the analysis of your workforce and also create a planning style of reports. That's what we have today. What is coming and what is going to be the go-forward solution for SAP is the SAP Analytics Cloud platform. And within this, we have the embedded edition that we just discussed, free of charge, which will be your new operational reporting tool and which will replace the ad hoc reporting, dashboards and tiles, and the advanced reporting. And within the strategic realm, if we add in the capability of being able to report on multiple sources and being able to leverage certain metric packs, then we speak of the advanced edition, which will come at an additional cost, of course. And if we add in even more capabilities like planning and predictive analysis, then we have the SAP Analytics Cloud Enterprise Edition. And that's basically when you want to use SAP Analytics Cloud as a reporting tool for the whole of your organization and not just limited to HR, then that can be a possible route to go down. During the rest of this presentation, we will focus on the embedded edition of SAP Analytics Cloud because that is what you have available today. free of charge, and which also is focused upon the SuccessFactors suite, of course. If you like to have more information about the strategic components of SAP Analytics Cloud, then of course we can also help you. We have a dedicated BI team who is very knowledgeable in those topics, so you can also get into touch with us if you need some more info on that. But now the embedded edition, and we're going to have a look at the capabilities of the tool, and we are going to do that within a demo system. I'm going to open my demo system here. Voila. This is a report that we created in our Flexso environment. And on this report, I try to include as much as possible of the capabilities of the tool. So it might be a bit much to show on one page, but we'll go through it step by step. Here on the top, we see immediately some key figures of our organization. We see our headcount. We see that expressed in full-time equivalent. We see the number of males and females and the ratio between that, the ratio of part-time employees, the average age, and the average length of service. All key figures on which we like to report at Flexso to describe the people that work for us. We also see that we are able to include some text within the reports to already give a first kind of describing the data, not just dumping numbers on people, but really starting to tell a story. We also see that if we click on the FTE number here, that a little pop-up is displayed, which we can click on to go to our FTE definition. A lot of organizations have different FTE numbers and very specific definitions for their FTE numbers, and this is a way that you can incorporate them within the report so that everybody understands the same thing with a given number. Another thing we see is that somebody made a comment here on the ratio of females, and I can click on that comment to see what they said. And they said that we are doing good work on the male-female ratio and that we need to keep it up. I can give a like to that comment, or I can reply to give you some examples of how you can use this tool to collaborate and to maybe really use it as an operational tool to start taking actions based upon the numbers that you are presented. Finally, here on the right, we see that we can also include some images and some nice icons to make the report as flashy as possible. If we go a bit more down to the bottom left, we see that the headcount is also being broken down by gender, full-time and part-time, and additionally by location. We see that spread out over the different locations Flexso is active in. I, as a report user, I can use the menu and on the left here to change this report to my liking. And I will click on legal entity, and it will display the headcount split across legal entity and still gender and full-time, part-time. An example that you can give the report users some flexibility to tailor what they are seeing to their liking so that they can get to the figures that they need at that moment. Everybody is interested in more or less something else specifically, depending on their department, what their function is, what they need on that given day. And this is a way that you can give people that flexibility when using the report. And you don't have to create 20 different reports. You can create one generic report and allow people to tailor it a bit to what they need at that moment. We also see some drill down capabilities here. Let's say I want to have a look at the 6 females that are working for Flexso Waver to maybe get their telephone numbers. And then I see that here the details of those 6 persons are displayed at the bottom. A way that we can do drill down, go from a aggregated chart immediately to the individual records. Finally, here on the right, I see some more distributions. And the first one is an age distribution. And here we see a distribution over length of service. What I want to point out here is the little Explorer link that we have available. And I'm going to click on this Explorer. And it is going to launch this page to me. And in this page, I, as a report user, I can start playing around a bit with the chart that was created. I can maybe bring in an additional dimension because I want to see the age distribution also split over the different locations that Flexso is active in. And to do that, I simply click on the little plus icon here. I select the dimension location. Click here on location to select all of the values. And then I see that at the bottom, my age distribution is being displayed over the different locations Flexso is active in. Again, a way that we can enable a user of the report to tailor it a bit to their own liking and to make the report a bit their own. They can do more. They can also change the way this chart is being presented. I can change it to a stacked bar, maybe, if that is a more suitable visualization in this case. And when they are ready, they can bookmark, they can save this visualization so that the next time they open this report, it will default to their own personalized view. That's only applicable to them, of course. Everybody else that uses the report, they will see the standard version, not that specific personalized version. I'll go back to the story again. Final thing that we want to point out here is that this is just the first page of our story, in which we are presenting the analysis of our workforce, of our employees. We also started on the second page of our story, which is going to tell something about the positions at Flexso, on which we basically present a similar thing, some key figures at the top, broken down by location, and then all the position details here on the right. Most important thing here that we want to point out is that we are able to create multiple data sources, of course, in our reports, and that we can combine them within one story. Okay, that concludes our demo. I'll go back to my presentation. We have some more demo screenshots here. And if we now summarize a bit, what is it that we like about the current capabilities of the tool? And that is that we can easily combine different tables, charts, images, and text to really tell a report story, not just dumping numbers on people. We also like that we now have a single point of entry for all our reporting needs. There is no need anymore to create a ORD report if I need MDF data, or a basic ad hoc report if I just need employee profile data for the people that use reports. Quite often that will certainly ring a bell. We just have a single entry point now. What is also nice is that we are able to combine data from different modules, including onboarding 2.0 and, as I said, all the custom data, all the MDF data. At the moment, though, there is no support for recruitment marketing, recruiting posting, LMS, and onboarding 1.0. That is coming in the future, in the near future, and more on that on the next slide. And that will then answer the question that Tom already raised. What's also nice is that we can easily create reports. It's all via the Report Center, the tool that you know today. And role-based permissions are also being leveraged. The role-based permissions that exist within the system will be applied when somebody uses the report, that they only see the data which they are allowed to see. Finally, there are a lot of template stories available, already more than 30 at the moment, and SAP keeps adding more and more to get you going. that you can easily import from the report center, and it will give you a jump start when you just are beginning to find your way within the new tool. Regarding the roadmap then, these are all of the different modules which are reportable today on the left here. And in the middle of the screen, we see the different modules that are coming within the next years. And those are basically all the modules that are part of the SuccessFactors suite, but for which we technically have a separate system, like LMS, Employee Central Payroll, Recruitment Marketing, Visa and Permits. They will all be added to be reportable within the tool in the next year or two. What is not planned, not on the roadmap to be included is SAP Jam. Onboarding 1.0, because that will be replaced by onboarding 2.0. The recruitment marketing advanced analytics tool that will remain the tool to do that kind of reporting. It will not be included in people analytics, and the audit framework will also stay where it is at this moment. What is of course also not planned within the embedded edition is tool data that exists outside of SuccessFactors. If you want to be able to report on that, you need the extended version and the version for which you need to have an additional license. If all of this triggered you a bit and you are eager to get going and you are wondering, well, what do I need to do to activate this embedded edition within my SuccessFactors suite? Well, then first you need to set up some prerequisites, and that's basically setting up the single sign-on via the SAP Identity Authentication Service, and making sure that the users are being provisioned to the SAP Analytics Cloud system using the Identity Provisioning Service. Technical tasks to which we can, of course, provide some help if needed. With all of these activities, we can provide some help. But once that's done, activating those prerequisites, you can enable the tool within the system via the Upgrade Center, and then start importing the standard content, those standard reports. Once you have those standard reports and you have your HR metrics, your KPIs, you know what you want to report on, you can start creating those reports within the system. Again, if you need help with that, we can co-define your KPIs, your metrics. We can help you create reports, and we can also give trainings into using the new tool. If you have any questions regarding that, you can definitely get into contact with me or with info@flexso.com in case I might get flooded with emails. Okay. I think then we can move to the Q&A session. And then I need to check with my colleague over here. Yeah?
Kun je zien op de screen.
Okay. So the first question is, will the existing reports in, for instance, the tool that we use today, the online report designer, will they disappear? No, they will not. The tools that you have today, ad hoc reporting, advanced reporting, ORD, dashboards and tiles, they will remain available after activating the new tool. It is, however, the new go-to solution to create new reports is going to be people analytics, but the old ones won't disappear immediately. Next question is, okay, then if we have a lot of reports, can we migrate the reports that we already have directly into the new reporting tool? No, there is currently no tool to do that. That will be a manual work, but that's maybe not a bad thing, because the answer on the previous question, the tools that exist today, they remain available, and also the new tool gives you more functionality, more capabilities. So maybe you need to rethink some of those reports, and maybe you need to do them in a different way, which you won't do if you just have a tool to migrate them. Next question. What is the advantage of using SuccessFactors reports versus a live connection as a data source for SAC? If you have a SAP Analytics cloud system which is linked to your SuccessFactors system, then basically you have a better version of the People Analytics tool which is available free of charge within SuccessFactors. You could maybe use them differently within the organization if you don't want to pay as much licenses for your enterprise version of SAP Analytics Cloud, and then you can leverage the embedded version for the basic operational reporting, and for the full strategic reporting you can use the dedicated SAC system. Next question, to combine in a story SuccessFactors data and another different source, will it be possible with live connection? Not really sure if I 100% understand this question, but basically, if you want to use data outside of SuccessFactors, you need to use the extended version of People Analytics, which comes at an additional license. If you don't need that, if you have enough with being able to report on the SuccessFactors data, then the embedded edition, which is available free of charge, is enough. Next question. I'm going to have a drink. Can learning data be combined? At the moment, no. LMS data, learning data is not reportable, but it will be available within the next year or two. It's not, there's not a specific date on the roadmap, but it's on there. All the SuccessFactors data will be reportable. Next question is about waiting times. Somebody had a demo version that they tried out in which the waiting time was not that good. There are some occasional hiccups regarding connection, but to be honest, the waiting times to generate a report like we saw today, the one I demoed, to my feeling, I'm pretty impressed with the performance in which the system is able to perform that kind of overview. It is a new tool, so there are still some hiccups now and then, but those are getting ironed out by SAP. And it's certainly a lot better than what you have available within advanced reporting or ad hoc reporting. Can you re-clarify what the difference is between embedded People Analytics and the embedded edition of SAC? There is no difference, that's the same thing. As always with SAP, they come up with a lot of brand names for their products, and we get confused sometimes as well. But basically, you have a embedded edition of People Analytics, which is free of charge, and then you have an extended edition for which you need to pay. The embedded edition, it covers all of the SuccessFactors data. The extended edition, it can include data from other systems as well. That's the most basic difference. Overall architecture, how do you position SuccessFactors, SAP, S/4HANA, a data warehouse, SAC reporting, SAC planning in a global architecture? That is a very good question. And also not something I think I can answer just right off the bat. But I would say it really depends upon the systems that you have available today and what you want to use them for, what your future roadmap as an organization is. And yeah, if you need help in defining that, then we can certainly get in touch, and we need to learn a bit more about your organization, about the tools that you have, your strategy, and then we can come up with a to-be architecture. Could you show where we can access the report content store? Yes, I can, but I will need to take over the screen. I will do that in a bit. I need to share some more slides. I will present that before doing that. Yeah. I'll go back to the system. So here I am in the report center, and I have a new type of report which is available to me, a story report. And using the import button here, I can go to the content store, and then here it needs to load all of the template stories that SAP has made available are available here, and you can select them and then import them to activate them in the system. There are 37 at the moment, and they're mostly for Employee Central, but they, as I said, they keep adding them for the other modules as well. Okay, to wrap up, we have some more information about upcoming webinars. You can follow all of our stories events on our websites. We have dedicated websites for people and digital. And our next webinar will be about the Galapagos case, where we did a full SuccessFactors suite implementation in a record time, if you ask me. So that will certainly also be an interesting webinar to join. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I would highly recommend you do. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining the webinar, and see you next time.